Let's study about the Vice President, his qualifications. A candidate to the office of the Vice President of India must possess the same qualifications as are essential for the office of the President. Moreover, he should be qualified to be elected to the Rajya Sabha. His election, the Vice President of the Indian Union is elected jointly by both the houses of the parliament, that is the Lok Sabha and the Rajya Sabha, and the procedure for his election consists of a secret ballot, proportional representation and single transferable vote, and the proposal for nomination of Vice President has to be proposed by 20 members and seconded by 20 members of parliament. He is removed in the same way as the President. Functions, powers of the Vice President of India. Ordinarily, the Vice President has little to do with the office of the President, yet he has certain duties to perform. Number 1. Ex officio Chairman of the Rajya Sabha. Like the Vice President of the USA, the Vice President of the Indian Union acts as the ex officio Chairman of the Rajya Sabha. So like the Vice President of the USA, the Vice President of India also acts as the ex officio Chairman of the Rajya Sabha. Number 2. Acting as the President of India. If the office of the President falls vacant due to his resignation, death, impeachment, illness or absence from the country, the Vice President of India, like his counterpart in the USA, takes over as the President. But unlike the Vice President of the USA, our Vice President holds this office only till a new President is elected. So when the office of the President is vacant due to resignation, death, absence of the President from the country, the Vice President of India, like his counterpart in the USA, takes over as the President. But unlike the Vice President of the USA, our Vice President, that is the Indian Vice President, holds this office only till a new President is elected. The Prime Minister, Council of Ministers and the Cabinet appointment. The Prime Minister and his Council of Ministers are appointed by the President, and they hold office during the pleasure of the President, and the leader of the political party, securing absolute majority in the Lok Sabha, is appointed by the President as a Prime Minister, and he has no discretion in this matter. Composition. The Prime Minister prepares a list of his colleagues from among the members of the Parliament to be appointed as ministers, and the President is obliged to appoint them as such. The President has a slight option in the appointment of the Prime Minister only when no single political party secures an absolute majority in the Lok Sabha. Individual responsibility. The ministers are individually responsible to the President, that is, they hold office during the pleasure of the President and may be dismissed by him on the advice of the Prime Minister. Each minister is answerable to the Parliament for the department under his control. He must answer all the questions of the MPs regarding the functioning of his department. Term of office. Constitutionally, the Prime Minister and his Council of Ministers hold office during the pleasure of the President, but the President has little power in this regard. The Prime Minister and the Council of Ministers are directly responsible to the Lok Sabha and can remain in office so long as they enjoy the majority support in the House of the People. Categories of Ministers. The Council of Ministers has 3 categories of ministers. Beside the Prime Minister, they are Cabinet Ministers, Ministers of State, and Deputy Ministers, working of the Cabinet or Council of Ministers. The entire Council of Ministers work as a team with the Prime Minister acting as the skipper. All the meetings of the council as a whole or the cabinet are presided over by the Prime Minister. The ministers are individually responsible to the Prime Minister. Powers and functions of the cabinet. The functions of the cabinet or council of ministers are as under number 1, policy making, number 2, appointments, number 3, introduction of bills, number 4, amendments to the constitution, number 5, president's address, number 6, budget, and number 7, declaring emergency. The Prime Minister, his powers and duties. The Prime Minister of India, like his counterpart in the UK, is the most important person in the government of the country, while President is the head of state and the Prime Minister is the head of the government. His duties can briefly be enumerated below. Number 1, he allocates work to the members of the Council of Ministers. Number 2, he works as a coordinator among various ministers so that the administration is carried on smoothly. Number 3, he is a link between the President and the Council of Ministers. Number 4, he is the prime spokesman of the government. And number 5, he is the leader of the Lok Sabha and conveys its feelings whenever necessary. A coalition government. In the parliamentary form of government, sometimes it so happens that a single party fails to get an absolute majority in the parliament. In such situation, different political parties join hands and form a coalition government. Depending on how the coalition partners act, such a government may face an uphill task to survive. Students, go through the back questions of this chapter and please read the chapter again and again so that you understand more and it will help you to find the answers.